Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the middle of January 2022. We're going to jump right in here, Virgo, and we are going to see what's coming up for you. We're going to do like a super Celtic cross, I'm calling it, or something like that. I don't know. But this is going to be part 1, and there will be a clarification part 2 linked up in the comments down below. It'll be the top pinned comment where we clarify. But basically, we're just doing like a mega Celtic cross. Even though it doesn't look like a Celtic cross, it's a Celtic cross here, Virgo. So let's see here. In your current general energies, you have the Knight of Wands and the 10 of Cups. It's crazy because, I don't know, I'm pretty sure like 3 signs so far have had the 10 of Cups as their first card in the first position. Pisces definitely did. If you have Pisces in your chart, I would definitely watch that. But I don't think I've ever had this happen where a card has repeated in a certain position. So again, like, I don't know, like 3 signs have had it in the same position here. I've done about half the reading so far. So that's about like half the signs practically. But what I would say here is I feel like there is a lot of happiness coming in for you. Your reading is very different than I forgot to pull an outcome, by the way. But your reading is very different than everybody else's. So that's good. Although there is a love focus, which is interesting to me. All the readings have had kind of like a little bit of a love focus. Venus retrograde in Capricorn makes perfect sense to me. I don't care that Venus is retrograde, actually. To me, Venus retrograde can go both ways. It's not necessarily like a Mercury retrograde. It's like, yes, it's retrograde. There could be confusion around love and all that other stuff, but it's not exactly the same as a Mercury retrograde. And I actually think that really, this is actually a pretty good Venus retrograde. And so it makes sense that there could be some things coming up around love. Really, I feel like this is talking about you needing to be more spontaneous to manifest your dreams. With the Knight of Wands, the 10 of Cups is like your dream life. It is fortune after difficulty. It is good things coming in for you. But they're kind of like imagining those cups that are above them. And the Knight of Wands, I feel, is immediately, it popped into my head that the Knight of Wands is your answer. That the Knight of Wands is saying, to get this, to have your 10 of Cups, you need to be more spontaneous. You need to be more willing to go on adventures, change, like all the things that the Knight of Wands would do to manifest something, I feel you need to do. Next, in your crossing energy, this could be what's hurting or helping you. You have the Death card and the Knight of Pentacles. Change, like being willing to change, is the thing that could be holding you back with the Death card, pretty obvious. What I would say also that's pretty funny to me is you have the Fool in this diagonal right here, and also this one, but you know, the Fool is the center. You always get the Fool card. And I'm always saying that, like, your answer really is to take some sort of leap of faith. I mean, I think maybe the lack of organization or just the crazy energy, like the not having answers and all that other stuff, that could be the thing that's holding you back with the Fool card. Because it's like the Fool, it's like the Fool here is kind of like asking you, I feel, to take a leap of faith, but it's like maybe it's a little chaotic with that Knight of Wands. Maybe there isn't organization in what you're going to be doing, so that could be the challenge. The Knight of Pentacles really says you're ready, and the Knight of Pentacles says you need to start planting seeds. He represents being too cautious, so I feel in a lot of ways that you definitely, I'm not saying don't be cautious, but I do feel like it's time for you to kind of get out of your head and take some risks with that Knight of Pentacles, because he is, again, being too cautious. He's not putting himself out there or taking any risks in love, business, money, spirituality, health, whatever area of your life you want to improve. Could be all of those, by the way, because you have the World here. The World, 10 of Cups. I mean, you know, the World and 10 Cups is like everything in your life. So, you know, it makes sense to me that some of you could be trying to improve every single aspect of your life. In the area of your thoughts, you have the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups could be you focusing... Queen of Cups could be you focusing on taking care of yourself, which would be a good thing. I feel like focusing on your health with the Queen of Cups is a great idea. Again, I'm not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice, but I do feel a lot of you could be very focused on your health and focused on healing and all that other good stuff. And again, I definitely feel that is a good idea for you with this Queen of Cups energy. Queen of Pentacles, she is focused on her pentacle. She's not focused on this rabbit right here. The rabbit can represent fears and anxiety. It can also represent good things as well, like abundance, success. But, you know, the rabbit Rabbits are scared little animals, right? So it can represent anxiety. She's more focused on the pentacle. So I actually feel good about this, because to me, it's like saying the queens can kind of represent keeping your eye on the prize. Most of the queens, they're very focused on whatever it is that they're holding on to. She's focused, the cups, she's focused on the cup. It actually looks like a trophy on the Queen of Cups. On the pentacle, she's focused on the pentacle that she's holding in her lap. It's like they're focused on exactly what they want. So this is coming up in the area of your thoughts. And again, I feel like that's a good thing. Next, in the area of your foundation, you have the Eight of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. Everybody's had the Five of Pentacles as well. Never in my life have I had readings that are so similar, between the readings. It's pretty crazy. Just the first part of this year. It could just be a collective energy, could be the retrogrades, I don't know, but it's pretty weird to me that they have been so shockingly similar. Everybody's been having the Five of Pentacles. I've been kind of blaming maybe like Neptune and Pisces plus the retrogrades. Neptune and Pisces, it's like you could have some crazy idea to, do something with your life, whatever it is, become an astronaut, start a YouTube channel, whatever. It feels probably pretty crazy, feels like you don't have what you need, but you actually do. The problem with Neptune and Pisces is seeing it. It's like Neptune and Pisces, the usual clues that we're moving in the right direction are gone. Normally, if we work towards a goal, wish, or dream, maybe we hit certain milestones. Maybe we have certain clues that kind of say, hey, you're moving in the right direction. The other thing is maybe we have some inspiration. It's like maybe we see a person who is doing the same thing that we want to do. So it's like kind of like we have an example to live by. With Neptune and Pisces, that can be a little cloudy. It can be a little bit murky. It's like we could have an example. We could have a person who's doing what we want to do. But maybe we just don't know how they're doing it, right? There's like no guidance. And I kind of feel that here. The Eight of Wands says do it anyway. So I feel like the Eight of Wands is just saying, do it, go for it. Eight of Wands is like, laser-like focus. And I feel that's what you need at this time, is that being very focused on what you're trying to manifest in your life. In the area of the past, you have the Six of Wands and the Fool. Both Six of Wands is a card of excellence and a card of a victory. The Fool is like needing to take a leap of faith away from something. I kind of see this as more like plateau energy. Sometimes I think Six of Wands, we reach a certain level in our life. The Fool is saying to get to the next level, you have to take a risk. So it's like maybe you reached a certain level in work or business and you want to raise or promotion. Maybe where you work, they're not giving raises or promotions. The Fool says, take a leap to find something else. Same thing in love. It's like maybe you want to get married. Maybe you're in a relationship, but the person you're with doesn't want to get married. Take a leap of faith to find a person who wants to get married, right? I think too many times we get stuck in relationships where we try to change the person. We think, oh, well, I love this person, so they'll love me and they'll want to get married. But maybe they seriously don't. What happens if they don't, right? I've read for too many people that stayed stuck in situations they knew they should have left. And I'm not criticizing those people. I'm just saying, like, I've had so many people that have literally said to me, make sure you tell people not to stay stuck in these situations, because they, end up being like 60 years old and they never get what they wanted. And so they feel like they wasted time. I don't think we've ever truly wasted time. But, again, it's a good warning, something you might want to listen to if you're with a person who's wasting your time. And again, we can't force people to want to do anything, right? So it's like there are plenty of people who want to get married. This is what I always say about love. There are plenty of people who probably want what you want. Finding them is a challenge, but staying in a situation with a person who doesn't want what you want is definitely keeping you stuck. In the area of the near future, you have the Five of Swords in the World. The Five of Swords is literally my card of taking a risk to get the world, a risk to have something that you want. This lady in the middle, she represents a sorceress. She represents total integration of all energies as well. Some people actually read her as kind of like an intersex being because, again, she has mastery over all energies that exist. And so she kind of represents being able to manifest something or create something in your life, not only through manifestation, but also through just action, through work, through putting in the effort. So I kind of feel that where you could be taking a risk to manifest something that you've been wanting for a very long period of time. I was just going to say, I wonder if you have the Six of Cups in your reading, and boom, you have the six of Cups here. I'm pretty sure in your first quarter reading, I said something about you having like a childhood dream. Maybe you were like 12, 13. Maybe you were in your teens, like 16, 17, or 18. It's like, I feel like there's something from like an earlier time frame where it's been a goal that you've had for a long time, literally. And like, I think it was your first quarter reading. I could be wrong. It might have been your 2022 reading. I don't really remember. But in one of those readings, I was talking about how you probably have a childhood wish, dream, goal, something you want to accomplish. here you go, Six of Cups right here. And the world, to me, that is like saying there's something that you've wanted for a very long, you've been dreaming of. You're the only sign that gets these messages of this like childhood dream or, this teenage dream, whatever you want to call it, or how you see your life. And I feel like you're going to be accomplishing it. In the area of your next few months, you have the Two of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. Number one, I would take your time. I wouldn't be rushing things. Again, health is going to be important at the beginning of this year for sure. And so I would take care of your health. I wouldn't rush. Two of Pentacles says work hard, play hard. Two of Pentacles, to me, doesn't really matter how hard you are working. It matters that you're balancing it out on the other side, right? It matters that you're, kind of filling your energy reserves back up so you don't burn yourself out, right? And so I think as long as we're doing things in balance with the Pentacles, with the Two of Pentacles, we're perfectly fine. But I see this as you kind of like just working hard. I feel like that Page of Swords is more curiosity. It's like you're curious what will happen if you put work into a goal, wish, or dream. So that makes sense to me. In the area of your closest relationships, you have the Lovers and the Six of Cups. Love it. This looks good to me here, Virgo. I feel like you could be attracting love into your life, and it could be through one of your closest relationships. It could be a friend, family, not a family member. I don't know where that was going. It could be coming through a family member. So it's like maybe a family member has a friend that could lead to love, or something like that. But I definitely feel there could be love coming in through closest relationships. Even if you're not looking for love, really good energy just for your closest relationships, your friends, your family, things like that. There could be just a lot of love, a lot of good energy coming in for you, and I feel like it's making you feel good. Six of Cups is like a gift from the universe. The gift we usually receive from the Six of Cups is a turnaround or a change in the energies that we've been experiencing, kind of like a card of obstacles being removed from our lives. So really good energy for you here, Virgo. Next, in the area of your future feelings, I'm dropping cards. You have the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands. Very strong boundaries energies coming up. Two cards of very strong boundaries. Nine of Wands, setting boundaries. Seven of Wands, drawing a line in the sand, setting boundaries. But I feel like it's a good thing. It's like sometimes I think we should protect our ideas, for example. Like we shouldn't be, if we have an idea to do something, like starting a business or whatever, maybe we shouldn't talk about it, because if we talk about it and people, crap all over it, then we're not going to want to do it, right? So I would be very protective of like any ideas that you have with this energy. I also like this as well because this is what I call like never again energy. It's like, sometimes I think maybe we get into these cycles where it's like up, down, up, down, up, down. Maybe we make money, lose it, make money, lose it. Maybe we get love, lose it, get love, lose it. This here is like you drawing a line in the sand saying, no, I'm going to go up and I'm going to stay up and I'm never going to come back down. It's like you're never, the Seven of Wands, the guy who is defending his position at the top of the hill, he's never going to come back down the hill. He's going to stay at the top. So I kind of feel that energy for you here, Virgo. It's like you're staying at the top is the best way I could put it. For your outcome, you have the Justice card and the Two of Cups. Could be a very fair, equal, and balanced relationship coming in for you, which would be nice. I see a lot of fire here. Gemini stands out to me. Earth in general, could be any sign. This is a general reading, but fire, Earth, Scorpio, Gemini stand out to me pretty much. So it could be a Libra as well. Although I really just feel like it's just talking about balance. So if you're looking for love, could be love coming in for you. Could be one of the fixed signs, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo. Like I said, take it how it resonates, but could be love. For others, I feel like this is just you creating balance with your higher self. The Two of Cups could just be you and your higher self. So you could be kind of like listening to your higher self. How do we listen to our higher self? Well, we usually follow our inspiration. We feel inspired to do something. That could be our higher self communicating with us. When we feel excited about something, when something brings us joy and happiness, could be anything. Could be a cat on the street. It could be, pretty much anything. If we move in that direction, we're listening to our higher self. Could be your dreams as well. You could have a dream to do something. Could come up with an idea. If you do it, then you're listening to your higher self. Justice, everybody's been getting the Justice card as well. Justice is cause and effect. I think that when we have these retrogrades are kind of like karma. This is according to Chris's crappy astrology, right? Retrogrades can bring up some karma or karmic situations into our lives. Justice could be the karma. it could also just be that, when we are in a retrograde, we get faster results. I always tell people, right? I say this all the time. I think it's bad advice to not do something during a retrograde. It's like, as long as you're doing something that isn't going to kill you, it's like during retrograde, I think it's a great time to make a mistake. I don't like when people say, don't start a business during a retrograde. It's like, well, number one, I've had times in my life where I desperately need money. I can think of one time in particular where I need money to pay like a bunch of stuff, like my car and all this other stuff. And it's like, I started a business. Did it last after the retrograde? Actually, for a little bit of time, it did. It lasted a little bit longer than the retrograde. But during that time, it made me a chunk of money that paid all my bills, right? So it's like, I always tell people, it's like, yeah, maybe you start something that doesn't last, but you're not only going to have one good idea, right? Especially if you're like starting a business or something. You probably have a lot of ideas. So it's like, it might pay for things you need right now. Number two, it's like we should be making mistakes. I think that saying that we shouldn't do things during retrogrades because it'll be a mistake is like the wrong way to think, because it's like we should be making mistakes. That's how we learn. Usually we learn faster and better during retrograde as well. So it's like you might as well. So that's kind of like what I'm getting there. But this is a pretty good reading. I like where this is going. I love it, actually. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising as well for a full picture of what's going on for you here, Virgo. Part 2 is linked up, pinned comment down below, so definitely check that out. But thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.